Regulators say J.P. Morgan Chase has no credible plan to protect taxpayers and the economy should it go bankrupt. Nor does Bank of America. A total of 5 U.S. banks have failed to provide a so-called living will.
It's not confidence boosting, and one must remember that although these banks are headquartered in the United States, this would be an enormous challenge not only for the US, but for the UK, Japan, and continental Europe, because these banks are incredibly internationally active. And so they need to establish a good roadmap so that both UK, European, Japanese, and US regulators would know how these banks need to be resolved without using your taxes or mine.
Some would argue that the findings of the Federal Reserve and the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation support the argument that the banks are too big to fail and therefore a liability to U.S. taxpayers. The banks say they're adjusting their plans to meet the federal requirements.
The requirements were passed by Congress after Lehman Brothers went bankrupt in 2008, and the global economy was propelled into recession. The U.S. government spent billions in taxpayer money shoring up other banks. The bailout still rankles many U.S. voters, particularly supporters of Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders, who's called for breaking up the banks. Hillary Clinton says they should be broken up only if they can't meet the requirements for a living will. They have until October 1st to do so. Kristen, Saloomey, Al Jazeera, New York.